From Coolray Field in suburban Atlanta, Georgia, it is midweek USL Soccer on ESPN+. It is a battle in the Eastern Conference. FC Cincinnati, match week 25 for them, and they are chasing the top step right now, trying to keep it at 15-3-6, 51 points on the season. Game 23 for ATL UTD2 here at the Proving Ground. They are right now 3-12-7 at 16 points. Midweek action right here on ESPN+. Alongside Jason Longshore, I am John Nelson. We will be with you here this evening at the Proving Ground for this particular matchup. And Jason, when you're looking at the Stripes in ATL UTD2, they've only played 1/3 of their entire match schedule at home this year, but this is where they've made their hay.
Yeah, they've been successful at home, 3-1-4, +1 goal differential. The one loss was to Charleston back in April. This is a group comes in tonight with a different lineup, a different shape than we're accustomed to, but it's a shape that had some success in the second half against FC Cincinnati in Nippert Stadium earlier this year.
Speaking of FC Cincinnati, the orange and blue, 9-0-4 in their last 13 this season on the road. They are 6-1-3, and their last loss on the road, May the 12th.
Yeah, they're coming in hot, 9-0-4 in their last 13. Unbeaten streak ongoing for Cincinnati, but they do have back-to-back draws on the road in their last two, at Nashville, at TFC2. They're missing Emmanuel Ledesma tonight. Emery Welshman up top, a lot of questions for him.
Just finished up a 6-game homestand where they were 5-0-1. Around the corner from the Proving Ground, it is lineups, it is coaches, and it is kickoff. You are watching midweek action here in the USL on ESPN+. FC Cincinnati, ATL UTD2, just around the corner, so stick and stay. Kickoff when we return.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
Near post! Oh, what a finish by Charlie Ward! Jesus Enriquez does it again! Great save, Restrepo! Oh! Good ball, Cheto Guzman!
Welcome back to Coolray Field. Just around the corner, it is kickoff between ATL UTD2 and FC Cincinnati. Jason Longshore alongside me. I'm John Nelson. We'll be here with you tonight. Midweek action here in the Eastern Conference when it comes to the USL. Let's get into our starting lineups. Jason, starting off with the visitors in FCC, and it's midweek for them as they head to Tampa. Interesting look.
Yeah, they'll be missing Emmanuel Ledesma tonight. Emery Welshman up top. The attacking output's going to be down to Nazmi Al-Badawi as your number 10. Look out for Pacanate starting his Cincinnati debut at left back. He's on loan from Spal in Serie A.
And then we talk about interesting looks for FC Cincinnati. How about an interesting look for ATL UTD2 tonight?
Yeah, the 4-4-2 diamond, not something we have seen very often from ATL UTD2. They played it in the second half at Nippert Stadium back in May and liked the look of it, and with minimal players available from the first team because they had games on Sunday and Friday. Scott Donnelly's making do with what he has.
For those of you that don't remember what happened last time, it was 3-2 at the break between FC Cincinnati and ATL UTD2 back on May the 5th. It was a 4-2 final, and it was a lot of action for both of these sides. Can they replicate that tonight? That'll be the question. Are we going to get as crazy a game that we had at Nippert down here at the Proving Ground?
From the Atlanta side, George Bello will be trying to do a little bit of that. Alan Koch, your coach for Cincinnati, got the extension July 25th. He will be leading this group into Major League Soccer.
And on the flip side, Scott Donnelly was named head coach early in 2018. And the big thing for ATL UTD2 is growth and moving forward, making sure that the players here are ready for the next level, wherever that is.
Yeah, it's the key. And for Atlanta, George Bello is a big part of that. He's a homegrown player on an MLS deal. He's had some injuries this season. This is his 5th match of the year, and we know the potential, but Scott Donnelly is expecting in a shape like this where you don't have wingers in it, Bello getting forward is going to be a big part, and we've seen him be very effective as he gets forward.
Referee tonight is J.J. Belinsky. Your assistants, Matthew Osterhaus and Joe Zawistowski. Your 4th official is Zachary McWhorter here at the Proving Ground, and we have the home team, ATL UTD2, in their stripes kits tonight, and FC Cincinnati in their whites, and they are kicking off. And as you watch, they are going from right to left here in the first 45 minutes. Some of the starting 11 for FC Cincinnati played over the weekend in their win over Charleston Battery in a matchup of 1 versus 3 in the Eastern Conference. It was a 3-0 win for the Orange and Blue. 2 games in a very short span here for them as they visit the Proving Ground. They're going to Tampa this weekend to take on the Rowdies. ATL UTD2 after this match, they get another quick turnaround themselves at Indy 11 here at Coolray Field this weekend. Then a couple of games on the road. Their last 7 will be here in suburban Atlanta for the stretch run in the Eastern Conference. Forrest Lasso signed in the offseason from Charleston Battery. Patai Alashe, and we'll get into the Alashe and Fernando Adi story as we go here this evening. Double team down the left field line here at the near touch. Both teams working at it quickly. Corbin Bone working for activity. Abladawi is blocked and picked up by Mitch Hildebrand, who gets to go up against his old team tonight.
Tries to go quickly and find Sandoval, earns the free kick.
And a whistle there, Deckel Kanan. And Devin Sandoval. Sandoval hits the dirt, more specifically the grass. And a whistle and a foul, so it'll be an opportunity for a free kick for ATL UTD2.
Kanan will have to be careful tonight. One more yellow for him, and he'll be out suspended on yellow card accumulation. Kenny
Walker having a bit of a discussion about the placement of the ball, so let's see what happens here with the stripes off the set.
Watch out for Cochran and Ruthven on the back post.
That's where they were headed, and off the back of the head of Cochran, and it goes over the end line. And it's going to be a corner kick, so last touch by FCC, so it's a Creature Comforts corner kick. Here as we are halfway through minute number 3.
Yeah, Cochran went up for it, but I think it was Kanan who actually won it, had the last touch. Metcalf comes over to take the corner. Is the short option in Kisiadu. Again, it's probably going to be the big targets, the center backs, Ruthven and Cochran.
Right foot into the mixer, a lot of heads going up. Head to the back, launch, and over the bar. And off the home plate screen, so it'll be a goal kick for FCC. Good opportunity at the back for the Stripes.
And that was Cochran again going up and getting the flick on to the back post, and Gallagher with the blast over the crossbar.
Working quickly to get it back in, the orange and blue, and there's Lasso. Quick touches over to the far, chested. Right cleat looking for Al-Badawi. Getting in there quickly for an opportunity, but shielded off by Cochran, and it'll be goal kick.
That's good work by Cochran. Here we look back at the corner. You see A.J. Cochran with the touch that ends up falling to John Gallagher. Gallagher with 6 goals this season. He's Atlanta's leading scorer, and he didn't miss by too much there.
Over the near 90, and it ends up being goal kick. Headed back the other way. Mitch Hildebrandt tries to introduce it. Alache intercepts, and FCC will have their opportunity. Corbin Bone. And catch in triangles here. Kanate tries to send it inside the box, knocked away, so it'll be a throw. Kanate will have it down in the corner. Quickly put back in, sent inside the 18, but booted away with the left. Sandoval sends it back out towards center circle.
And with some pressure with Gallagher and Sandoval, Cincinnati will be able to play down the wings. This 4-4-2 diamond is pretty narrow for Atlanta.
Lasso sends it with the left. Kanate. Bone. In quickly with ideas, and the Stripes trying to get out of the jam that they got after the interception, but it's picked right back up. Al-Badawi tries to chip it in with the right, headed clear. But Forrest Lasso's there, and they'll reset. Hoyt. Walker. Activity over at the far. They'll go to the Stripes.
Very condensed space in the middle of the field tonight with this 4-4-2 diamond with Atlanta. It's pretty defensively minded as well. Andrew Wheeler-Amanu, Kisiadu sitting deep with Kendall Moulin. Metcalf is also defensively minded, and he's playing your 10 tonight.
Corbin Bone with the pick, and he sends it over the bar. Mitch Hildebrandt will bring it back in, but the pass didn't have a whole lot of mustard on it. Easy pickings for FC Cincinnati, and the opportunity there for 19.
And Cincinnati's trying to deal with that packed in middle of the field with Corbin Bone really free to roam, and he's popped up on the left, popped up on the right, in the middle. Corbin Bone will be key for Cincinnati.
Lasso with it, being chased, and Ritchie will launch it forward with the right. A lot of hand fighting there with Kanate, and a whistle. Quick reset for the Stripes. Let's see what they can do with it. The activity in the middle. Al-Badawi almost had it. Quick footwork now for Nicklau. Tries to send it in with the right. And that was almost launched in. Spencer Ritchie had to kind of, how would you phrase that? There was a lot of angles that he had to get to try to keep that inbounds and not go over the line.
It looks a little dicier than it is. Spencer Ritchie can handle that one and just make sure he stays out.
And it did. Big launch by Nicklau with the right, grabbed, and it looked like he kind of went back over the bar a little bit, Ritchie, to bring it back in play. Here's we're in the middle of minute number 7. Alache was trying to look for a cutter, and it ends up being with Bello. And Cochran trying to release Bello a little bit here. Gets past Walker. But Alache comes back with it for FC Cincinnati. Welshman will deal with the right. Easy pickings for Hildebrandt.
Yeah, quick shot there from Emery Welshman. Mitch Hildebrandt saw it the whole way. Interesting night for Mitch Hildebrandt facing his old squad.
You know what Hildebrandt was known for last season with their big Open Cup run? The whole Mitch Says No campaign, and so now he gets to give the opportunity to say no tonight against his old club. Let's see how the Stripes can do here. Wheeler-Amanu. Metcalf and Nicklau. Sent into the infield, looking for Gallagher, knocked out by Lasso. It'll stick with the Stripes.
Lasso had a little more time there than I think he thought he did. Might have been able to settle that and find a teammate.
Heading toward minute number 9 here at the Proving Ground. Looking for a handball call off of Sandoval, but it ends up out over the touchline. Just reintroduced quickly. They'll call the whistle there. And Lasso will bring it in.
And they did call the handball on Sandoval. He felt like he was bumped from behind, didn't get the call. Spencer Ritchie to take it.
Thanks for hanging out with us, however you are accessing us tonight, watching on ESPN+. A lot of midweek action in the Eastern Conference. 4 other games going on right now. The Bethlehem match started at 5 Eastern. We'll let you know what happened there. They had a 2-0 lead in the 85th, but there were some other 7 and 7:30 Eastern kicks. We'll get into those scores as we go here later on tonight. Looks like we're going to have early discussions here from J.J. Belinsky. He's going to have a bit of a talk with Alashe.
It was a late challenge from Alashe. Showed a little bit of the studs there at the bottom of his boot. Wants to nip that in the bud. Also, long conversation with Pa Kanate as well. This is Kanate's debut match with Cincinnati. He's on loan from Spal in Serie A, but there is an option to purchase his contract for Cincinnati's inaugural MLS season next year.
And Kanate has the history with Alan Koch from their time in Vancouver. And Hildebrandt absolutely chunked it as he was trying to bring it in. Had to come back for the quick save on Al-Badawi. Dangerous moment there for the Stripes. Bone tries to do something with it, but knocked out nicely by Niklaw, just to kind of slow things down a little bit.
Hildebrandt tries to clear that and just absolutely mishit it. Al-Badawi had a chance to punish him for it, but great recovery from Hildebrandt to get his body in front of that shot and keep it out.
Let's see what FC Cincinnati does here from the corner. And it all starts there with 6'6" Forrest Lasso.
J.J. Belinsky talking to Lasso, Ruthven, Cochran, the big guys.
Choice D, all the above.
Yeah.
Launched right into the middle of it and headed straight up into the air. And it will be a goal kick for the Stripes and Mitch Hildebrandt.
Unable to get much on that, Kanan.
Let's see what Hildebrandt's looking at here for bringing it back in. Al-Badawi thought about pressuring, sent back into center circle. Kanan was there with Sandoval. Alashe now has it. Thought about Kanate, goes to Bone. Bone. He'll give to Kanate. Good defense to keep it out. It'll be a Stripes throw. Nicely done there by Andrew Wheeler-Amanu. Looking to settle was Gallagher, but it's looped forward. 2 defenders there. Sandoval couldn't get there. Kanate sends it out, so it'll be a throw in the offensive third for the Stripes. Let's see what they can do with this.
Deep throw here for Niklaw, and he's got a long throw. He can put this into the box and see what happens. Sandoval's a great target for this.
Lasso heads it straight up and straight out, and they'll try it again.
It's the one problem with the long throw when Forrest Lasso is in the box.
Niklaw with Bone, sent in. Wheeler-Amanu thought about it, and so there's your turn from Metcalf. Last touch by Lasso. Another opportunity here for the Stripes.
It's a great ball from Niklaw, slipping it into Metcalf. Unable to get the cross in quick enough.
Let's see what Niklaw is thinking about this time. Off the cycle is Wheeler-Amanu. You saw what the idea was there for Metcalf, but just too much behind it. It ends up over the end line, so it'll end up being for FC Cincinnati goal kick for Spencer Ritchie.
Heavy touch from the captain as he tries to turn the corner on Fatai Alashe. Both teams here like to possess the ball. 2 of the leaders in passes in the USL early on at Cincinnati with a little more of the possession. As the season's gone on, Cincinnati is 4th in passes. Atlanta is 3rd in passes in the league. Atlanta's had a little bit better accuracy, but they have not been as productive with it in the final third as Cincinnati has been this season.
Walker looking for something to go on just outside the top of the arc. Picked off by the stripes. And let's see what happens here. Gallagher tries to get it past Konate. He does. And Lasso with the big bump sticks with the stripes, but that's when you got 6'6" and you got that kind of activity there. Big bump on Andrew Wheeler-Amanu.
Heavy challenge on Andrew Wheeler-Amanu. Wheeler-Amanu goes for the back heel off of Lasso. He gets the throw. Gets a lot of contact as well.
Sandoval looping through. Gallagher doing the same, chested down. Looks like it's last touch by Sandoval. Goes to FC Cincinnati.
Konate with the quick throw.
Alache and Bone trying to work something almost picked off there as it got into the infield grass that was transplanted, but Hoyt will calm things down over at the far. Looking for Walker. Walker keeps it in. Nicely done there, but picked off by ATL UTD2. Sandoval tried to get sprung, but it ends up ending back with Alache. And that's going to be
rough challenge from George Bello. Trainer called onto the field. Metcalf tries to talk Belinsky down a little bit.
But it looked like Belinsky was heading straight for a card in his pocket. What does Belinsky have to say about this here? Looks like he's got the yellow out. And there it is. Minute number 16. Yellow card to Bello on the challenge.
Reckless challenge from George Bello. Young player kind of feeling his way into the game. You see it here, just a reckless tackle from Bello. 16 years old. You know, honestly, you want to see him now manage the match on a yellow, and you want to see him avoid trouble. But a lot of times you see young players shy away from those types of challenges. Dial it down a notch, be in good shape.
Let's see what FC Cincinnati's thinking about here. Chip over to Konate. Sent back to Lasso. Lasso thought about sending it to Ritchie, but it ends up going to Kanan. Kanan having to work with the right to come down the side. Kept in. Settled by ATL UTD2. Mark Kissidu can do with it. Back to Wheeler-Amanu. And all the way back to Mitch Hildebrand. Big right boot sends it all the way into the attacking third. Spencer Ritchie says, I got this, and he does, waving Lasso off. So FC Cincinnati will try it again with Alache.
We talked about the possession a little bit ago and Cincinnati having that advantage. This new shape for Atlanta, it's a challenge at the moment to build up possession through the middle of the field. There just isn't the same spacing that this group is used to. It's a lot of problem solving right now for guys like Laurent Kissiadu and John Gallagher.
Wheeler-Amanu picks it off, gives it to the stripes, but it's put right back. Alache and Bone working it over at the far. Inside, looking, and a turn is possible. Set back up, deflected, and in the back of the net. Minute number 18, and the Eastern Conference leaders, after a deflection, goes over Mitch Hildebrandt and into the back of the net.
Cincinnati's able to get Atlanta stretched out on the back line. A.J. Cochran steps out wide to try to defend. Tyler Ruthven by himself defending in the box, and that's going to be an unfortunate own goal off of Ruthven. It all starts with Cincinnati spreading the field, attacking down the flanks. A.J. Cochran has to step over to the left, and when Cochran's pulled out of the middle, Ruthven is by himself, unable to close down the shot quick enough, and it deflects off of him past Hildebrandt. Cincinnati with the early lead.
So let's see how ATL UTD2 responds. Remember last time that these two teams went at it back on May the 5th, it was a 3-2 match at the break, ended up 4-2 final for FC Cincinnati.
The response is big, and this is a young ATL UTD2 group. You have to get back in this quickly. It's been a fairly even game. Mitch Hildebrandt hadn't really been tested too much outside of the mistake that he had. The response is critical for Atlanta here. They need some positive momentum quickly.
Well, let's see what they can do with it. Hoyt and Kisidu going at it at the far. Last touch by ATL UTD2 and a quick throw. Al-Badawi sends it in with the right. Nobody home. Through the 18, tracked down. And it goes out, so it'll be a throw off the touch. A lot of pressure employed by FC Cincinnati, even on the simplest things, even on throw-ins. There's a lot of bodies on a lot of folks. Konate tries to go for the ball, ends up with Sandoval, who gets a bit of a break. Has folks to his right, and Gallagher tries to take it into the middle, work the chip, but it ends up in Hoyt's cleats. It goes back to FC Cincinnati.
Well defended, took away all of his options there. Sandoval unable to keep control.
And headed out on defense by FC Cincinnati. It looks like it's going to go with the stripes. J.J. Belinsky, I believe he was having a bit of a talk with Konate there. As we're in minute number 21, FC Cincinnati leading ATL UTD2 by the score of 1-0. Here's Nicklau for the stripes, sending it down at the right. Horse lasso right there, all 6-6 of it. Alache going at it with AWO. It ends up going over the touchline. It'll go with FC Cincinnati. Here comes Belinsky again.
Alache jumped up quickly to get in Niklau's face, and now he wants to have a few things to say to Jack Metcalf. It was Andrew Wheeler-Amanu who went in aggressively on the touchline. But the issue with Alache and Nicklau was after the initial challenge. Belinsky trying to calm everybody down. Alache hopped up quickly after the challenge from Andrew Wheeler-Amanu. Nicklau was involved at the end of it. And Nicklau pushed him at the end of it. That's where Alache got fired up at the tail end of that sequence.
So Alache wanted to have words with anybody in a stripe.
He's still having a few words with anybody in stripes.
Yep. Metcalf right there with him. So we'll keep an eye on those conversations as the night goes along. Here halfway through minute number 22, 1-0 FC Cincinnati. Alache settled by the stripes. Wheeler-Amanu gets Welshman off his back and they get possession. But once again, look at the pressure. Corbin Bone ends there and gets the ball as it's sitting there, sends it with the right, looking for Al-Badawi. There's a couple of other white kits in there. Sent inside the 18, but cleared.
Good work by Kendall Moulin to drop in and help Cochran and Ruthven deal with the trouble.
Alache with the right, a lot of space for Konate over here at the near. Works it in with the left, sends it in, headed clear. Alache ends up with it again. Activity at the arc. A lot of cleats with the tips, goes back to Konate. Wheeler-Amanu and Alache going at it. We've got a whistle. It'll stick with the stripes there.
Good takeaway by Wheeler-Amanu, and he earns the free kick. Battle between Andrew Wheeler-Amanu and Fatai Alache. Wheeler-Amanu is one of the players who's really benefited from the time with ATL UTD2 this season.
Quickly introduced. Laurent Kisidu, a lot of room to run. Goes past Sandoval, goes past Gallagher. Hoyt ends up with it and will send it back into the middle third with the right, but picked up once again by the stripes.
Those are the types of runs you need from Kisidu to open the Cincinnati defense up.
Another opportunity here. Keeps possession with it. It looks like they're going to call Kisidu for going in.
Because he thought it was a foul and picked up the ball. Foul was not called, and it's a handball on Kisidu. I don't know if Kisidu heard an inadvertent whistle there or what happened.
So it looks like Spencer Ritchie will be the kit to introduce it back for FC Cincinnati.
The movement from Kissy that we're seeing in the last couple of minutes, though, that's how Atlanta will start to open this game up.
Give me some red wine, huh?
Lots of conversation on the field. Jack Metcalf, again,
Tyler
here,
Ruffin.
Kenny Walker.
Tyler Ruffin also had a handful of kit with Emery Welshman, as Welshman wanted to go up for that ball. Ends up going over the inline, so it'll be a goal kick for ATL UTD2.
Ruthven making his ATL UTD2 debut. Alpharetta native, started his career in Harrisburg, then came to Atlanta to play with the Silverbacks before a stop at the New York Red Bulls in Major League Soccer.
Lasso looking for Alashe, picked back up by Wheeler Amanu, but back with FC Cincinnati, and Lasso ends up with it, trying to figure out a way to send it up with the left. Here comes Emery Welshman with it. Activity with the left, sends it across the box. Looks like Bello is there, settled. Al-Badawi trying to figure out a right foot. He does, and it's in the corner.
Outstanding work from Nazmi Al-Badawi. Jimmy McLaughlin drops it back to him. Great long ball to start the whole sequence. Bello unable to close McLaughlin down quick enough, and he lays it off for Al-Badawi. The right foot finds the far side netting. Beats Hildebrandt. Cincinnati with the 2-goal lead.
Sent in with the left. Just drop back for Al-Badawi. You don't know what foot he's going to use to send it in, but he sends it in with the right low and into the opposite corner, and it's 2-0 FC Cincinnati.
Out on the road for the first time in a little while. It's the exact start that Alan Koch is looking for Cincinnati. Get a couple goals early, and you can relax a little bit. You have control of the match now. Al-Badawi gets his 8th goal of the season. Cincinnati starts this road trip very well.
But for those that remember what happened last time, it was also a 2-0 lead for FC Cincinnati. Goals by Koenig in the 26th, Ledesma in the 28th, and then ATL UTD2 comes back with a Gallagher goal in the 31st to make it 2-1. Obviously the Stripes looking for that same kind of momentum and activity this time around from the last time that these two teams met at Nippert Stadium back in May.
These are the moments that can test a young team to see how they respond. It was not a good response after the first goal. It's a back line that hasn't played together. George Bello, 16 years old, homegrown player, signed to the first team. He's been training a lot with the first team as of late. AJ Cochran has played 18 matches with ATL UTD2. Ruthven making his debut with the squad tonight. Sean Nicklaw, who's played 12 matches. I don't think this group's ever played together. Probably hasn't trained together very much.
Right. Halfway through minute 27. And with all the activity that we've seen, 2 goals on the board, 6 shots for FCC here in the first 27 minutes.
Cincinnati's been in complete control of the match. The 4-4-2 diamond, a new look for ATL UTD2. Struggling to control the possession, and that's been the hallmark of Atlanta USL Soccer this season. Unable to get their foot on the ball often enough.
Hoyt will throw over at the far. Goes for the long launch. Bone looking for Al-Badawi, but sent back out. Stripes now with possession. Kisiadu sent, trying to send Sandoval along with the right, picked off by Lasso, but Andrew Wheeler-Amanu is there. A little bit of a space to operate, so he'll send it with the right, but it's picked off by Hoyt. As Bello is there, goes out. Cincinnati with the quick throw. McLaughlin. Welshman. 2 stripes on him. Gets out of trouble. Alashe with some bodies over here at the near.
Excellent work from Cincinnati to switch from the right to the left.
Al-Badawi tries to settle with the right. McLaughlin is looking for folks in inside the 18, but it's picked off by Gallagher, and he's going to try to dribble out of it all. Gets past Walker, but it's back to Lasso at the center line.
Since that second goal, we've seen John Gallagher drop deeper in the formation, trying to help Atlanta build through the midfield a little more.
Body on body. Here come the Stripes with it, but then it's picked off once again by Konate. A lot of pinball going on here. Bone thinks about a launch with the right, but it's sent back out. They're calling advantage.
Wasn't much of an advantage there.
So Hoyt tries to send it into Al-Badawi, but he can't control it. Goes over the inline. Goal kick.
I think it was Walker and Kisiadu. Walker after the initial challenge put his arm out to shake hands with Kisiadu, and Laurent wanted none of it.
Early minute 30, and Hildebrandt launches it immediately out. So FC Cincinnati with another quick throw.
It's coming unglued a little bit, ATL UTD2.
Give and go, look for Al-Badawi. Kisiadu is there, trying to settle down with Bello. Quick passing, trying to get out of a jam. Wheeler-Amanu. Kisiadu with some space.
Much better there to connect and release Bello down the left.
Bello looking to work with the left. He does, sends it in, headed clear. And launched well over the bar and into the supporter section.
Wasted effort there from Kisiadu. No real chance to put anything behind that and test Spencer Ritchie.
Start a minute 31 here at the Proving Ground. 2-0 FC Cincinnati. Goal in the 18th, and then Nazmi Al-Badawi's 8th in the 26th. Let's see what the Stripes can do if they can settle things down here in the final 15 minutes of the first half. Hoyt with the throw for FC Cincinnati. Looking for Welshman, picked off. Kisiadu, Wheeler-Amanu. Looking for Gallagher. Sent forward, but Lasso picks it up at the center line. Does keep control of it. Corbin Bone. Alashe.
A lot of space for Alashe.
Bone over to the near, playing catch. Alashe a part of that four-man game there with Welshman. Konate and Bone. Bone, long switch with the right, looking for Hoyt. Can't catch up to it. Bello looking for the long throw, headed. Sandoval can't get released. FC Cincinnati is there. Al-Badawi gets it from Kendall Moulin. But here come the Stripes with it again.
Good work by Tyler Ruth then to jump in front of that and retake possession for Atlanta.
Metcalf. Chips it over to the other side. Bello trying to get sprung, but right there is McLaughlin, so he can't work his way in. They're going to have to work it around the horn one more time from far to near. Niklaus sends it down with the right. Gallagher can get there. Sends it in, looking for Sandoval. Can he turn? Blocked by Ritchie.
Huge save by Spencer Ritchie. Great ball from Gallagher. Quick to Sandoval. He turns to shoot with the left. Ritchie able to get there and intervene quickly.
So let's see what the Stripes can do as they have it back center circle.
Good ball from Niklaus to send Gallagher in initially.
Bump to try to change possession. Niklaus being chased by Corbin Bone. Bone gets possession. Konate has it. He'll send it all the way back to Ritchie.
Kendall Moulin gets the call at midfield, pushed in the back. It all started with Sean Nicklaw with the ball down the right side. Love that John Gallagher did not hesitate. Gets a quick cross into Sandoval, and it's the first touch from Sandoval that sets up the turn with the left foot. Spencer Ritchie was up to the challenge.
Keep an eye on activity like that. Continue to spring the stripes here. Speaking of spring, is Bello going to get there? No. Good idea with a lot of mustard on it. Goes over the inline, so it'll be a goal kick for Ritchie here halfway through minute 34.
Too heavy. Atlanta needs to get Bello more involved going forward, but Cincinnati has closed down that side of the field. McLaughlin and Hoyt have kept wraps on Bello.
Hoyt has played every minute of the 20 games that he has been in this season for FC Cincinnati. A lot of folks looking for a whistle and a handball, not happening. Al-Badawi wants to launch again with the right. He's sent out of the box, kicks it back to Hoyt. He'll reset at the far. Chip over, Konate is there. A lot of space to room. Will he do with the left? Settles it back, playing catch with Alashe. Into the corner. Bone, McLaughlin. Back to Konate. One-on-one, sends it in with the left. Launch opportunity here, chipped, picked up by Hildebrandt.
That one's not going to beat Mitch Hildebrandt. Gathers it in, looks for the quick option to play long. It's not on, so he plays short to Kendall Moulin.
Here comes Alashe to press. Over to Nicklaw. Konate called for the foul. J.J. Belinsky continuing to have conversations with Konate. And we'll get the yellow.
Interesting there, he goes over to talk to him. He pointed out the different fouls that Konate had made happen, and I thought that was a warning that this was the last time.
I thought so too, yeah.
Then he goes to the card.
So Konate with a yellow in the 36th to go with Bellows yellow in the 16th. That's the discipline that we've seen so far. Corbin Bone in for the discussion with Belinsky.
It's been an ongoing dialogue with Belinsky and Konate all night.
So let's see what the stripes do here after the yellow's been issued. Metcalf. Quick catch with Ruthven all the way back to Hildebrandt. Cochran having to go all the way back to Mitch. Ruthven back to Hildebrandt. A lot of pressure from the white kids. So Hildebrandt has to launch with the right. He does, finds Bello. Picked up by McLaughlin quickly. Space to think of something to do, so it's sent to the center and Metcalf. Stripes with gradual movement here into the middle third. Sent all the way over, big switch to Nicklaw. And Metcalf will do it again. Big right trying to spring Bello, and he's there. What can George do with it? Bring it in with the left. Ritchie, Superman punch to clear. And headed over the inline by Konate for a Creature Comforts corner kick.
George Bello showing his quality here with a left-footed cross that Ritchie's unable to catch. Gets hands to it. It gives away the corner.
So let's see what the captain can do with it here. All those big bodies right there. Looking for Lasso. Sent in just beside him, over to the back, over everybody, and Sandoval tries to turn with it again. Launched by Kisiadu, too much.
Kisiadu goes for the full volley again, this time from about 25 yards. Better connection with it this time, but he kind of slices underneath it.
And it looked like Devin Sandoval wanted to have a redo of his goal of the week candidate.
I don't know if Devin Sandoval's ever going to be able to recreate that one. Good idea from Kendall Moulin to put that back across. It's not in a spot where Sandoval could really do much with it.
39th minute, 2-0 FC Cincinnati. Hoyt settles it down, trying to look for folks in white kits, and it looks like Al-Badawi got sprung, but Mitch Hildebrandt gets there first.
He was sprung from a bad header by Bello that nearly put Al-Badawi in.
Nick Law and Gallagher, Konate there on a yellow.
Good work from Gallagher to hold that up and find a teammate.
Cochran, Alashe at his heels, sends it back to Hildebrandt. We'll try it again.
This is the biggest difference tonight is you see a Cincinnati team that has played together for the most part all season. It's a lot easier for guys like Alashe and Konate to fit into a group that has some continuity, and defensively, very organized. When they press, they press in a very organized manner. Atlanta, mixing and matching lineup tonight, it's been a challenge.
J.J. Belinsky wanted Sean Nicklaw to work his way backwards a little bit for the throw, so Nicklaw throws it backwards.
Close enough.
Stripes with possession. Ruffin sends it all the way back to Hildebrandt, and they'll try it again. Al-Badawi chasing Cochran a little bit. All the way back to the keeper and playing catch. Tyler Ruthven. Cochran. Bello. Good cutback. Can he do anything with it? Nope. Sends it back. And they'll go from far to near. Corbin Bone, look at the pressure there on Metcalf. Nicklaw with Konate.
Much better from Atlanta, able to keep possession, switch from left to right, back to the left, now an opening.
Gallagher in the middle of it all. The edge of the infield, sends it just past Spencer Ritchie wide. Good opportunity there.
That's nice work from John Gallagher to find that space. We've seen him back to goal a lot, holding off defenders. This time he gets some space at the top of the 18 and rips a left-footed shot low. Gallagher was asking that it took a deflection, thinking he should get a corner out of it. No such luck.
Ritchie on the full dive to his left. Over the end line here as we head toward minute 42. Deflected header backwards. Tyler Ruthven back on McLaughlin. Good coverage to recover there by Ruthven, looking for Kissiadou. Looks like the foul was called on Alashe, and they'll stick with the stripes. Or they'll go with the throw instead.
He did get the foul.
There's your reset. Okay. Nicklaw and Ruthven. Cochran. Springs Bello. Too much there. It'll go back to FC Cincinnati.
That's that missed connection. Two guys who haven't played together very much this season. This is Bello's 5th match with ATL UTD2, and 3 of those were at the very beginning of the year. Missed some time with academy responsibilities and an injury.
Kissiadou working in the middle, trying to get around Lasso. Activity. Wheeler Amanu sends it in with the chip. Too much over to the far. Having to chase is Cochran now. McLaughlin will clear, but it's back to Bello. Wheeler Amanu. 3 FC Cincinnati kits around him. Metcalf trying to send it into everything and just absolutely launched by Alashe. Almost into the suites here at Coolray, so it'll be a Creature Comforts corner for the Stripes over at the far.
It's great work from Jack Metcalf to find the space out on the left, and a left-footed low cross into a tough spot for Cincinnati. Better safe than sorry. They just clear it away, give away the corner. Starting to see Laurent Kissiadou solve some problems for this Atlanta team. He gets on it now.
Sent in with the right, looking at the far, cleared by the 6'6" Lasso.
This 4-4-2 diamond, it's going to take players like Kissiadou making things happen in their 1v1 battles.
Gallagher in with the left. Once again, Lasso sends it out. And off the joust, Bello and McLaughlin, no whistle there, but Al-Badawi's pressure creates another situation. Nicola has to settle to send it all the way back to Hildebrandt.
Al-Badawi gives his team a break, just forces Atlanta to back up, reset from their own 18, slows everything down. Savvy play from the veteran Al-Badawi.
Hildebrandt looking for Sandoval, but once again, Lasso getting involved in all of it. They'll go all the way back to the keeper. Just around the corner. Highlights, stats. Take a peek at week 23. And someone, Jason, that you and I know very, very well is going to be our halftime guest.
Yeah, I'll be headed down to Orlando with Mr. Mike Conti on Friday for Atlanta United in Orlando City. Before we're back here for Indy 11 on Saturday.
So we'll get a peek at what Mike sees with what he's had here tonight. He's in attendance for ATL UTD2, and an opportunity there. Al-Badawi was looking for Welshman, but Welshman with the left sends it over the end line, so goal kick for Hildebrandt.
Atlanta dodges a bullet there. Welshman unable to put that on frame and test Mitch Hildebrandt. See, again, it's just a little sloppy from Atlanta in the back. Welshman with the left-footed chance, just unable to really do much with it.
Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50, and we're going to have 3 minutes added here to the first 45.
Some shenanigans on the far side.
And Kisiadu again. And for those of you that want to keep an eye on things on social media, you can do it on the USL's official Twitter feed, keeping up-to-date news, live game updates, highlights around the league 24/7. You can follow at USL on Twitter. And you can go to the league's official Facebook page at facebook.com/USL Soccer. You can get a bunch of game updates during the 2018 season, stay up to date with news from across the league itself. Once again, facebook.com/USL Soccer.
Looked like that was going to be an Atlanta throw. Looked like Atlanta was going to get that throw. Kisiadu thought he was going to get that, and it was Kisiadu and Alashe scrambling for it on the far side. Now Belinsky's going over to break up another situation.
And it's involving Alashe again. And Alashe gets a yellow.
No idea what Alashe's still fired up about.
And Alashe, I mean, you got a lot of carryover here from all the conversations that Alashe's been having, and J.J. Belinsky has been involved in trying to stem all of the conversations and the chippiness that's been there, and Alashe's been in the middle of a lot of it. And what you're hearing is not a vehicle backing up. The fire alarm has gone off outside the apartment complex that's outside the outfield wall. And Jason, I do not see any flames, do you?
No, I think we're good.
Just checking. And so now J.J. Belinsky's having discussions with what's going on, and here's how we ended up there. You had all of the argy-bargy over at the far. There were a lot of discussions going on with Kisiadu and Alashe. Not the first time Alashe's been in conversations for this half, and after all of the discussions and the chippiness, you end up with a yellow card for Alashe at 45+1.
Well, it started with Alashe and Kisiadu on what Kisiadu thought was an Atlanta throw. Alashe thought otherwise, and so did J.J. Belinsky. Then Cincinnati tried to take the restart very quickly, and it was called back. And when it was restarted, that's when Alashe got into it and earned the yellow. Now Belinsky is getting set for the restart from Atlanta. Okay, I think we're starting to figure this out as we piece everything together. It's Emery Welshman who was involved in the altercation, not Fatai Alashe, and that's why the Cincinnati players and bench were so fired up. think that has been corrected now.
So dissent for Alashe after the activity with Kisiadu and Welshman.
Okay, now we do have it. It's Alashe for dissent, not for the altercation. So a little confusing match management there from J.J. Belinsky, and we'll see if the halftime whistle helps everybody calm down a bit. Alan Koch is still having a conversation with Belinsky.
So once again, after the conversations, and when we get to the halftime interval, you're going to have stats, you're going to have highlights. You're going to have Mike Conti on to discuss what's going on with Atlanta United and his thoughts, what he's seen here with the Stripes here tonight. All the news and notes that's fit to print. Give you your tour around the USL tonight. We've got action going on in other games. We'll give you those scores as well. The Eastern Conference has all of the action. This is the only one that has any kind of goal tick marks attached to it, because all the other games right now that start at 7 and 7:30 have no activity in them on the goal sheet. And Bethlehem, I believe, earlier today beat Ottawa by the score of 2-0, and they had to start at 5 o'clock because Bethlehem does not have light stanchions.
I don't know if any other match so far tonight's had as much altercation and as much conversation as we've seen tonight.
So what we're going to do with the conversations and the altercations and any other staycations that we're having here, I guess we can take a bit of a break, and that'll be our staycation. When we come back, we'll let you know what's going on around the USL. Mike Conti will join us to give his perspective on what he's seeing with the Stripes tonight. So we are at the Proving Ground, 45+ minutes in the books. And in the first half, it has been FC Cincinnati. Goal in the 18th, Nazbi Al-Badawi, his 8th of the year in the 26th. We are 2-0 at the Proving Ground. You're watching USL Soccer on ESPN+. We'll be back in just a little bit. Stick and stay.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
Near post! Oh, what a finish by Charlie Ward! Jesus Enriquez does it again! Great save, Restrepo! Oh! The ball, Cheddar
Welcome back to the Proving Ground, 45+ minutes in the books, and it is a lead for the Eastern Conference leaders right now. It is 2-0 FC Cincinnati, the orange and blue up against ATL UTD 2. And as promised, special guest here in the booth here at the break. It is the radio voice of Atlanta United, Mike Cotty, for 92.9 The Game and the Atlanta United Radio Network. Sir, good to have you up here in the Crow's Nest.
Boy, this has been a pleasure watching you and Jason do work, and I can sit back and relax and just enjoy a game. This is great.
It's okay. So first time to the Proving Ground.
That's right.
So your impressions of what you've seen, because as we know, when it comes to the stripes and what we're seeing out here for ATL UTD2, it's about development on a bunch of different levels. It's academy guys for that next step, whatever that is. It's for some of the players here, possibly being a part of what you and Jason get to do on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's vital, and we've seen it throughout the year, the vital contribution that ATL UTD2 makes to the entire organization. Very encouraging first half. I thought Andrew Wheeler-Amanu, very high work rate, probably sleep well tonight. Gallagher is a guy that we don't get to see a whole lot unless you actually come out here and see him in person. I'm very impressed by him. And, you know, George Bello, I think Atlanta United supporters have been kind of clamoring to see more of him, and you can see why. Very promising player. And it looks to me like George has even put on some muscle mass, some weight here as the season has gone on. So very encouraging. It's a vital component of the organization, and quite frankly, it's all interchangeable. It's good for Atlanta United to be able to get some players down here to play with ATL UTD2 and vice versa.
And also one of the other guys that Jason and I were focusing on in the first 45, Laurent Kissiadou.
Yeah, he eased into the match. Some struggles early. Felt like they were able to find him later in the first half. Had a really good opportunity late in the first half. We've seen Kissiadou with some golazos this year, and it's been fun watching you and Jason call it. Bright future for him, no doubt about it.
All right, let's take a look at the first half numbers, and this is just a small sampling of what we've been able to see here in the first 45. Possession, when you look at these two sides, ATL UTD2 58-42, but that's because they've been trying to figure out what to do against this tough FC Cincinnati defense that's been pressuring a lot.
Yeah, and it feels like FC Cincinnati's two goals have kind of been on counters. It doesn't feel like really either side has control of the match. Obviously, the scoreline heavily tilted towards FC Cincinnati, but I think Scott Donnelly's going to be pretty happy because it felt like they did a lot of good things. They're a tough side to break down, FC Cincinnati, but they were able to create a couple good chances.
You also look at corners right now, 3-1 off of the one sequence for ATL UTD2. Duels, obviously, you look for duels and jousts, but when you've got a 6'6" guy like Forrest Lasso, you know that's going to be tilted slightly for FC Cincinnati with the activity in the air that ATL UTD2 is trying to get in there against Spencer Ridgey.
Yeah, FC Cincinnati is going to be a pest going into the final stretch of the regular season here in USL because very few clubs are as big as they are. And that's one thing that really stood out to me here in the first half, John, just how physical they are. And it kind of turned into a little bit of a chippy match, too. But playing FC Cincinnati is like going to the dentist. You know, it's not going to be pleasant. You just hope that you get out of here with all your teeth.
And you know, coming into the activity, 15-3-6 for FC Cincinnati, and you know, only one. You see that number 1 in the middle of those 3 columns when it comes to their road play. Tough team, the orange and blue, on the road. We're going to come back. Well, first, we're going to show you what's going on around the USL. We're going to come back. Mike's going to stay with us. We're going to run through highlights and everything else with the news that is fit to print. But we're not the only thing going on here in the USL. Let's take a peek at what's been going on from the best of Week 23. We'll be back here at the Proving Ground in just a little bit.
Looking for number 14. There it is. Cross comes in towards the back post, and Foster Langsdorff has his 11th goal this season. The corner of the 18. Cross comes in, and a goal for Foster Langsdorff. It's his second of the evening. Into the box, a strike, and a goal. Christian Valesky. Guess who? Again, Valesky with his second. Slides it across. Michael Seaton. Seaton in on goal. Michael Seaton, he's at the brace.
Ledesma right at the edge of the 18, takes a shot, and Manu Ledesma does it again. Now Spees gives it a go, and Spees finds the back of the net. Game of one.
one-upsmanship from the Indy 11 this season.
Rebound comes out though, and it's stuck right back in. And guess who? Solomon Asante. Chance now for it, St. Louis! Long overdue goal for Corey Herzog. Here's Carl Howarth, and the shot, and it is 1-0 Ottawa Fury FC.
Here's Atlas Aiden to strike. It hits the frame of the goal and goes in. Laid off to the path of Barry. He's onside, and he fires it home.
It'll be Gordon to strike with his right boot. Hits it and puts it in the back of the net.
To Velasquez. He'll take a crack through distance, and a goal. Chandler Hoffman redirects it for the goal. Here's another opportunity. Dixon shot and a score.
Back to Corbin Bone. Bone inside of the 18. Buries it in the back of the net.
Still Belmar. Now into the area, Carlson Belmar. Losing his defender, Belmar. Shirley. Blackwood gets the goal.
Great save by Kendall McIntosh.
Shot getting a piece of it. What a save.
Great stop by Dykstra. Oh, what a save by Vaughn Williams.
Cardoni with an impressive save.
A brilliant save.
Welcome back to the Proving Ground. That was your quick tour around the league itself. Let's start off with news and notes, Jason, around the league, and the one at the bottom of the page really sticks out.
FC Cincinnati first to 350,000 so far this season. They still have home matches to go, and they've already set a club record for attendance. But in the Eastern Conference, Cincinnati's at the top of the table right now. Some big matches on Saturday. The one that I'll be looking at is up the road from us, Nashville SC hosting Bethlehem Steel.
You got Charleston and Red Bulls, obviously people looking at that one. You've got the Tar Heel Derby there with North Carolina FC and Charlotte Independence. Also, folks looking at Ottawa and Penn FC. Game of the week schedule for on ESPN3 tonight at 10 Eastern. It is Phoenix Rising in San Antonio for those who want to watch on ESPN3. But the game of the week scheduled down the line, Rio Grande Valley, San Antonio. Phoenix Rising makes another appearance on September the 5th at 10 Eastern. Real Monarchs at the top of the table in the West. They're chasing after the crown there as well. They get St. Louis on the 12th, and 6 days later on ESPN3, back to the Eastern Conference with Nashville SC and Tampa Bay Rowdies. We are at the interval. When we come back, we'll set you up with first half highlights and stuff. That's the official term. Get you ready for the second 45 minutes. FC Cincinnati leading HEL UTD 2-0. You're watching USL Soccer on ESPN+. Stick and stay. We'll be right back to the Proving Ground after this.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
There are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
Near post! Oh, what a finish by Charlie Ward! Jesus Enriquez does it again! Great save for Strippo! Oh!
Welcome back to the Proving Ground. Getting ready for the second 45 minutes. FC Cincinnati leading ATL UTD2 by the score of 2-0. Mike Conti has jumped back into the co-pilot seat. We're going to go through, Mike, the first half highlights. And starting things off, it was a play by Mitch Hildebrandt that created an opportunity for FC Cincinnati.
Yeah, I was wondering if Mitch might be a little bit nervous coming into this chance to play against his former team. A giveaway here that could have almost have been fatal.
And so that ends up with the shot end up going over the inline, so harmless there. But when you get to action in the 18th minute, Cincinnati ends up on the board. And it was going through Corbin Bone, but it was also activity at the back for ATL UTD2.
Honestly, I thought this might have been an own goal on Tyler Ruthven, to be honest with you. Opta did give the goal to Bone.
And so when you look at it here, Corbin Bone, but I think it personifies the pressure that FC Cincinnati had in that first 45 minutes, coming at you from all angles and compressing the field.
Really tough for ATL UTD to solve.
And so you end up with it being 1-0 here. One more look at it as we're processing it through, and it might change to your point about being an own goal from Tyler Ruthven by the time that we get through. 18-minute, but then 7 minutes later, it's Nazmi Al-Badawi.
Pretty. Just really pretty finish. Good build-up for FC Cincinnati. Kind of a backbreaker here for ATL UTD2 as well. Felt like they were kind of coming back into the match on the front foot, and then this happened.
And so you end up with another peek at it here, and just once again, you're looking at Al-Badawi, and he's trying to figure out what foot's he going to release it with. It looks like the left. He changes it over, sends it into the low corner opposite, but as you're looking at it here on the near side, so that makes it 2-0 Cincinnati. But then ATL UTD2 with their own opportunities, and it comes off a corner. Devin Sandoval almost recreates the goal of the week.
I like Sandoval a lot. 6 feet 1 inch tall. Good target on set pieces. Albuquerque, New Mexico. They found him nicely here.
And so once again, you see the activity from the set piece, from the corner kick, and it ends up with Sandoval just missing, but it ends up with an opportunity that goes up over the bar. And so 2-0 at the interval. But once again, one more chance for ATL UTD2 that we're going to look at here in the first part of the half. And John Gallagher, one of the bright spots for the Stripes this season.
Huge bright spot for ATL UTD2. I think someone that we're going to see pretty shortly with Atlanta United, someone that I know they're very excited about.
All right. Okay, so then here we go. How does ATL UTD2 get back into the second half?
Going to be tough. Obviously, possession would be important, but they're on the front foot, or they have been in the last 5 minutes of the second half, so momentum on their side.
There you go. Mike Conti, radio voice of Atlanta United. Thanks for hanging out with us here at the Proving Ground, and we anticipate you being down in the supporters section, waving flags, and making sure that you are, sir, one of the kings of the South. Mike, once again, thanks for hanging. And, so face painting, I think, has been suggested as we get ready for the second 45 minutes. ATL UTD2 down 2-0. Jason Longshore is hot back in the co-pilot seat here, and the Stripes will be going from right to left here in the second 45.
We'll see if Atlanta can generate some more chances here. Only one shot on goal for ATL UTD2 in the first half. They have to create more opportunities than that.
And we saw opportunities in the middle of the pitch, but then they just couldn't take advantage of them. I know that we were looking at Bello being sprung down the side, Kisidu working in the middle, but they just couldn't end up getting the activity that they were looking for in that first 45 minutes.
The 4-4-2 diamond has been a bit of a challenge for this young team, especially with a lot of new faces working their way into some different spots tonight. It improved as the first half went on, and Scott Donnelly has to hope that it continues to improve here in the second.
Kisidu working it over to the far. See if the Stripes can do anything with it. Cochran and then Sandoval trying to post up on Lasso. It ends up trickling over the in line, and it's going to be a goal kick.
Sandoval is looking for the run there, a little support. That's the challenge tonight. You don't have a natural number 10 for ATL UTD2. We've seen Andrew Carlton in that role this season, among others. And tonight it's Jack Metcalf, the captain, who has played almost every position on the field this season for ATL UTD2.
Thanks for accessing us however you are doing so this evening. Thanks for watching on ESPN+. He's at Longshoe on Twitter. I'm at OSG Nelson. Thanks for being a part of the broadcast tonight here at the Proving Ground. Spencer Ritchie launches it, posted up, picked up, and it's an opportunity for the guys in white. Sent in and deflected off the heel. McLaughlin tried to send it into the box, but back comes Kisiadu for the Stripes. Sandoval and Alashe. Wheeler-Amanu. Metcalf over to the far, playing catch. Tyler Ruthven behind, but they'll go with the right chip, trying to spring Gallagher, and they do. Can he keep it in? What's the call here? Going to be a Creature Comforts corner kick for ATL UTD2.
We'll see if A.J. Cochran, Tyler Ruthven can get on the end of this one. Looks like it's Metcalf going over to the far corner to take it.
You've got Al-Badawi there. You've got Lasso and all of his 6'6" frame right in the middle of it all. Picket fence at the top of the 18. Sent in with the right, curled and clear.
Lasso wins that header at the near post.
Stripes will try it again. Bello tries to spring Kisiadu with the left. There's too much there. And Hoyt lets it go over the end line for a goal kick for Spencer Ritchie.
Forced lasso on set piece is such a weapon for Cincinnati, whether it's in the attacking side of it or defending, as we saw on this one.
6'6", 210-pounder, was in Charleston last season, picked up by FC Cincinnati in the offseason. He's been one of their big anchors at the back. 20 matches played. Even has 2 goals to his credit this season. Ruthven to Nicklaw, trying to spring either Sandoval or Kisiadu, goes between them. And Hoyt gives it to Ritchie, who'll send it back out quickly to Hoyt, and they'll start all over again. Alashe, Bone. Excellent defensive work there to keep from springing activity down that side when it comes to Konate.
Nicklaw had to get that one right, and he did.
Activity down there, goes over the end line, so it will end up being, looks like it's going to be a corner kick for FC Cincinnati. And we mentioned that this was the only game that had goals in it. Now Indy and Toronto FC 2 have 4 goals between them. It's 2-2 as they are in early sections of the second half. Indy 11, the next opponent that's coming here in the weekend, in Pittsburgh and Tampa. That's 1-0 in the 51st. Sent in. Louisville with a 2-0 lead over Charlotte in the 40th. Sent in.
Tyler Ruthven with 2 headers away.
Al-Badawi all the way back as Hoyt tries to work it in off the diagonal on the big switch, and he gets the switch. Right foot sent in.
Ruthven there again.
Against Lasso. Kisiadu. Cochran. Nicklaw.
Good work to play out of trouble there from Atlanta. See if they can make something of it, and they can't find Gallagher on the other end of it.
Too much on the chase there. Ends up in the hands of Spencer Ritchie, who introduces to Alashe.
That's really been the story for ATL UTD2 this season. Possession has been strong. Connecting passes has been good. The final third, that final pass, has not been consistent enough from Atlanta.
Wheeler-Amanu looking for help. 3 white kits around him. Goes to Kendall Moulin. Back to Nicklaw. Try to get out of trouble. And it does get out of trouble to Ruthven. Wheeler-Amanu tries to spring Nicklaw, but he can't. Goes back to the orange and white. Hoyt. McLaughlin. Pressure from Kisiadu, sent all the way to the back line. And they'll go around the horn to the far and try to send it in from there. Corbin Bone. Alashe. Playing catch. Let's see what Alashe can do with it here. Gives to Hoyt. Picked up by Kisiadu. So you're seeing Atlanta United 2 working with the pressure here. Trying to force turnovers. They've been able to do it, they just haven't been able to convert in that final third. A lot of pogo activity there, but it ends up with a right, and big save by Hildebrandt, but the rebound goes in the back of the net. Alashe in the 53rd, and it's 3-0.
Fatai Alashe gets his first goal in an FC Cincinnati jersey. Mitch Hildebrandt kept the first one out, but he's unable to save the rebound from Alashe.
A lot of pinball creates a quick opportunity for FCC. It ends up being Alashe off of the second chance past Mitch Hildebrandt, and it's 3-0 for the conference leaders.
FC Cincinnati showing why they are the favorites right now for USL Cup. It's been a great job this season by Alan Koch. It's so easy at this stage where you know you're getting promoted into Major League Soccer next season to start to look ahead too much. And we've seen it many times in the history of teams in this situation. FC Cincinnati is putting on a strong season this year in USL, and a number of players are trying to make that jump with this club. And this time it's Fatai Alashe, the player that is one of the first MLS signings for the club, who gets the goal here. Such a strong group, FC Cincinnati and Alan Koch. They have been the class of USL this season.
And the other name to mention in that is Fernando Adi, not in the 18 tonight. And Adi has done 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, gradually getting integrated into game shape and playing shape. So he's had his handful of minutes in a couple of matches here for FC Cincinnati as the shot's put in by Kendall Moulin. Easy pickup by Spencer Ritchie.
Nice combination play for ATL UTD2. Metcalf and Gallagher combine and lay it off to Kendall Moulin. Kendall Moulin tries to bend that around the defense, unable to beat Ritchie.
Waiting for a substitution for FC Cincinnati. And it will be the end of the evening for Corbin Bone after 55 minutes. So in the 55th, Corbin Bone will exit. Once again, Alan Koch thinking about the activity in Tampa this weekend, and it will end up being Russell Cicerone who will be joining.
Bone, one of the originals, FC Cincinnati, third season with the club. It's a good point. You have to look at this road trip as 180 minutes. Bone only playing early into the second half here. He'll have plenty left in the legs for Tampa.
And another into the net by FC Cincinnati late in the 55th. Touch pass, back of the net. And the orange and blue put another one in. It's 4-0.
Backline for ATL UTD2 really struggling tonight. Al-Badawi with his second, I believe.
Pinpoint passing by the orange and blue. Fourth goal on the board.
Too easy down the left side. They get around Nick Law and able to find Al-Badawi unmarked at the top of the six.
First of the evening in the 26th, his 8th of the year. They'll give it to Kenny Walker.
Kenny Walker, not Al-Badawi.
So Kenny Walker gets the goal. That is his 4th on the year. 4th on the year for Kenny Walker in the 56th minute.
It's another turnover. Cincinnati looking for another one.
Big launch over the bar that time. McLaughlin knew it.
We talked about it in the first half. This is a back line for ATL UTD2 that has not played together. It's showing tonight. It's a challenge. That continuity that Cincinnati has is really on display tonight.
Hoyt back to Ritchie. Cochran chested and settled back to Hoyt. McLaughlin. Kevin Barajas looks like he's about to be set to come in for ATL UTD2 at the next opportunity. Cochran back to Hildebrandt. And it's Tyler Ruthven.
Credit to Cincinnati for coming out strong here in the second half to kill this game off. When you have another match on a road trip, it's a really smart play to put this one away quickly.
McLaughlin, and big touch. Alashe almost had his second kick saved by Hildebrandt. Nicklaw clears.
Hildebrandt unable to get down with hands, able to get the right boot out there and keep that out.
Gallagher in transition. Going all the way down the far, and he's mixing it up with Lasso. And it looks like it's going to be a set piece for ATL UTD 2. Gallagher's not getting up.
Easy call. Lasso impedes Gallagher as he tries to round the corner. Slow to get up. I think Gallagher was expecting to see Lasso pick up a card. ATL UTD 2 getting ready to make a substitution. Kevin Barajas will be coming into the match. We're getting word it'll be Andrew Wheeler-Amanu who'll be leaving.
Metcalf to the far, headed, picked up by Ritchie.
A.J. Cochran with the header at the back post. Looked like it was likely wide. Ritchie plays it safe, makes the save.
McLaughlin to Walker. Big switch, but once again intercepted by Nicklaw there. We'll send it forward, looking for Sandoval at the right. Too much in Alashe. Konate, Al-Badawi. And the switch over here to the near. Hoyt. Kissiadou will intercept. But you get Kits on you immediately. Trying to come up with an alternative. Standing still, it's McLaughlin and Kissiadou, but back to help. It's Kendall Moulin.
Kissiadou finally unable to split the defenders, and now he takes off.
Good chesting by Sandoval. Kissiadou's there. He's got Bello. He's got some help. So what can Laurent do with it? Alashe forces over to Metcalf. And playing catch over at the far with Nicklaw. Nicklaw gets dumped, no whistle. Coming back the other way quickly, it's FC Cincinnati, but great closing speed to get that out of bounds. Great work that time by Andrew Wheeler-Amanu.
That's been the challenge for ATL UTD2. Metcalf switches it over to the right quickly, but Cincinnati, they're able to close it down very fast. Nicklaw unable to get a cross in, and it's a turnover.
Couple of substitutions here for ATL UTD2. It is the Barajas for Andrew Wheeler-Amanu switch. And then for FC Cincinnati, Blake Smith, 23 in, Konate out. So Konate in his first match for FC Cincinnati ends after 61.5 minutes.
Straight swap for Cincinnati. Blake Smith played most of the season at left back. Konate got the start tonight. For ATL UTD2, it's Kevin Barajas in for Andrew Wheeler-Amanu, possibly with an eye towards Friday. Andrew Wheeler-Amanu might make that trip to Orlando. He's been in the 18 for Atlanta United quite a bit this season.
Work back to Mitch Hildebrandt, who'll send it forward with the right. And off the joust, they'll call the foul on Blake Smith, so it's an opportunity. A free kick for ATL UTD2.
Barajas fouled quickly. Tyler Ruthven to take the free kick. Sandoval lays it off for Metcalf, who looks for the right-footed cross. Kenny Walker takes care of things very easily for Cincinnati.
Chipped out of trouble, sent back to the near, and Hoyt got McLaughlin with him. Sent into the middle of it all, and Welshman. A lot of bodies in the center circle. Ends up with the stripes here as we start minute 63. Looking for activity in the offensive third. There's Bello. McLaughlin on him. Kissiadou. 2 orange and white kits on him, so he sends it back to Metcalf. Playing catch, the switch is there. Takes the short to Kendall Moulin. But it's picked off by Alache, and back comes FCC.
Barajas unable to turn that, keep the attack going.
Big launch by Lasso, looking for Welshman. Finds him after it ends up trickling off his back, but doubling back defensively. Nicely done there by the captain. Sorry, by Cochran to get things done.
Strong tackle by Cochran on McLaughlin. Miscommunication between Ruthven and Bello nearly led to a chance for Cincinnati.
Gallagher shouldered off, but he maintains possession, tries to work something inside the 18, but here comes FC Cincinnati again.
The work rate's still there from Gallagher. He's not getting a lot of help in the final third.
Hoyt and McLaughlin over here at the near. Bello and Kissiadou. And it looks like we're going to be seeing Lagos Kunga for George Bello at the next opportunity. Here comes Kissiadou, Alache chasing. What can Kissiadou do with the right? Flicked up into the air, easy pickings for Spencer Ritchie, and back quickly comes Hoyt.
Great defensive work by Kissiadou to start the break. He beats one defender, but he's unable to get the shot off cleanly. It's cleared back off of Kissiadou, and Ritchie grabs it easily.
Hoyt. Work inside the center circle, playing catch. Walker. Just a lot of passing back and forth as ATL UTD2 tries to figure out the pressure point that they can have here. Big work by Lasso, and it's cleared, but clear sailing. But Ruthven ends up tracking it down. Nicely done there by Tyler Ruthven to get back.
Well read by Ruthven to get in front of Cicerone. Metcalf able to get back on that. It was a loose touch. Now Bello with an opportunity to overlap Kissiadou.
Kissiadou with it to Bello. Here at the near, working the near corner. 3 orange and white kits there. Sent in, Kissiadou drops it. Gallagher has to send it all the way over again. Big launch with the right! Another big launch with the right. Where have we seen that before?
Well, we saw it end up in an own goal the last time Sean Nicklaw took one of those. This time he's going to get full credit. Goal of the week candidate Sean Nicklaw gets ATL UTD2 on the board with a right-footed blast from about 30 yards out.
Sean Nicklaw sees something, launches it, and it goes in the upper corner past Spencer Ritchie on the board for the Stripes. And with that goal on the board, you're going to get your switch. Lagos Kunga in, George Bello out.
We'll see how this changes the lineup for ATL UTD2. It looks like Jack Metcalf is going to go to left back, replacing Bello. Kunga's going to move over to the left side. We'll see if the shape turns into the 4-2-3-1 that we're used to seeing with ATL UTD2. It looks like Gallagher is going to be on the right side, Kunga on the left, Sandoval up top.
Minute 66, Sean Nicklaw with an absolute blast from 30 plus. And ATL UTD2 on the board.
Kissiadou with a takeaway.
From Alache, what can they do with it here? Gallagher, activity on the right. Ritchie punches it for the save. Lasso will clear.
Great save by Spencer Ritchie at the near post. John Gallagher tried to beat him low. Ritchie gets down quickly and makes the save. Can't keep the rebound though. ATL UTD2 continues the pressure.
Kendall Moulin trying to figure out what to do with it here. Sends it back. Metcalf looking to launch with the right, sends a grounder in for Sandoval. And ends up coming all the way back out. McLaughlin was trying to claim it was his. Last touch by the stripes, so McLaughlin was right, and he'll get the throw. And I think you're right by calling your shot there on goal of the week from Nicklaw on that blast.
It'll be in there. A lot of games left this week, but that one will be under consideration.
FC Cincinnati over at the far, looking for Al-Badawi and Welshman. Big launch with the left, wide.
Cochran got the right foot in to deflect the entry pass.
Big launch by Blake Smith there with the left. So let's see what ATL UTD2 can do with it here. Minute 69. Cochran. Kunga.
Cochran with the big overlap.
Lagos trying to come up with some space. Brings it back out to Barajas and around over to the far. Gallagher looking to drive inside the 18. Can he get through all of those kits? No, but he sticks with it. Sticks with the stripes here. Barajas looking for an outlet, finds it, right foot blocked. Stays inside the 18. FC Cincinnati will have it, and they'll try to get out of trouble.
Smith blocks the cross from Nicklaw on the far side.
Some post up there with Ruthven and Welshman.
Guessing the foul was on the Ruthven part of it. Barajas came in and won the tackle cleanly at the end of it. Ruthven and Welshman. Big battle there. Ruthven gets called for the foul.
Your thoughts on Tyler Ruthven here in his first match for ATL UTD2?
It's the Tyler Ruthven that we've seen for a number of years in a variety of different teams. It's good to see him back home. It's going to take a little bit of time. He's never played with A.J. Cochran. He's never played with Nicklaw or Bello on either side of him, and it's a challenge for a player to come in. He's only been here for a week of training coming into this. But his veteran experience, his veteran leadership will be a nice addition to this young ATL UTD2 squad.
One more sub coming up for Alan Koch here at the next opportunity, and it looks like that's going to come now here as we head toward minute 71. And that'll be the night for Fatai Alashe. Goal in the 53rd that made it 3-0 for FC Cincinnati, and Mike LaHood will come in. So LaHood, for his 17th appearance on the season, has 2 assists to his name. Started a decent amount of games coming into tonight. It started 12 of the 16 that he was in. So for those of you following along, it's 13 in as 27 exits for FC Cincinnati.
LaHood, the Sierra Leone international, former teammate of Tyler Ruthven. First year with Cincinnati, but as you said, he's been playing a lot of the minutes in that holding midfield.
See what Lagos Kunga can do with it here. Lagos wants to drive, but there are 3 orange and white kits there. Spins out of trouble, so Lagos will keep going. Was trying to leave it for Sandoval. Got deflected away and a whistle. Looks like they're going to call Lagos for the foul, so it'll be a kick for FCC.
Another great element of Michael LaHood's career. He's worked with MLS veteran Kai Kamara to create a school for children displaced by civil war in their native Sierra Leone. Something that Kamara and LaHood have put a lot of their own time and energy into in their off seasons. ATL prevents Cincinnati from getting out of their own half. It's a throw for the orange and blue, though.
Hoyt. Sandoval pressing. Welshman loses that there, but they're going to call a whistle.
Cochran with his hands on Welshman as he went up for the header.
We're seeing some of the guys who played at Nippert this past weekend still logging a lot of minutes here as we get into 72. Hoyt played against Charleston, was in there for the entire time. Al-Badawi played for the entire time. Welshman played, and Lasso played. So you're here for the duration now for the final 18+ minutes, and you got Tampa Bay coming up on the weekend.
Yeah, likely we'll see some of these guys get that Tampa match offside there on Cincinnati. They did bring more than 18 with them on this trip. They're going to stay out on the road, train in the days in between, head to Tampa for that match this weekend. Now we see Laurent Kisiadou down, cramping up, it looks like. Atlanta has one field player on the bench remaining, academy player Dylan Gaither. Might be called upon here shortly for Kisiadou. That's up, moving around okay. See how much longer he has left in the tank.
Hildebrandt sends it back in with the right. Cochran, Barajas, Ruthven.
Better from Barajas there, the University of Kentucky product.
Made it through the tryout process for ATL UTD2 to get his name here.
Local player Tony Annan, the academy director with Atlanta United, has coached Barajas before in his youth career. And after a successful career in Lexington, Kentucky, Barajas now wearing the stripes.
Gallagher looked like he got clipped there as the ball ends up over the touchline over far, so the stripes will have a throw. Kisiadou, after it settles. Just all of those white kits just charging after the ball. Tremendous pressure defense that we've seen all night from FC Cincinnati.
It's a credit to Alan Koch and his system and his coaching staff. Every player on the field for Cincinnati knows their roles, knows their responsibilities. Now we see them with another attack.
McLaughlin trying to find Welshman. He does, tries to launch with the right. Looks like that there was a cleat in the way from the stripes. It's going to be a corner over at the far for FC Cincinnati. Next opponent for ATL UTD2 here at the Proving Ground is this weekend. Jason and I will be here for that call on Saturday night. Right now, Indy 11 leading Toronto FC 2 3-2, and they're in the 70th minute as well. And Toronto FC 2 at the bottom of the standings in the Eastern Conference. They use it to help out their academy. Big punch by Hildebrandt to clear. FC Cincinnati wanted a call, thought a handball in the box from Nicklaw. Nicklaw tried to spring. Gallagher couldn't do it, but back comes FC Cincinnati again.
Atlanta had a chance to break. Nicklaw unable to find Gallagher.
McLaughlin sent in. Lasso trying to charge. Takes out Mitch Hildebrandt, and getting into it with Tyler Ruthven is the 6'6" Lasso.
Lasso went down incredibly easily there looking for the penalty, and Ruthven did not appreciate it. Had a few things to say and pushes Lasso out of the 18, forced trouble.
Lagos Kunga looking to spring Devin Sandoval. Ends up, after a couple of sets of cleats, all the way back to Spencer Ritchie, and FC Cincinnati will start it all over again.
Rare to see a player as big as Lasso go down that quickly.
Well, we've known him to be tall timber, to kind of hang out and stay straight when he needs to. On that opportunity, was trying to get the situation to his advantage. Completely understand that.
Not much in it, though, and Billingsley's not having it.
LaHood sends it over to Hoyt. McLaughlin. Back to LaHood. Sent over to the far, around the horn. Let's see what happens here. Nicklaw on guard. Back to LaHood. Playing catch, trying to figure out how they can get some kind of an entry with Smith there. They'll send it back out to Lasso.
Smart possession play from Cincinnati with a 3-goal lead. Don't have to force anything. Keep possession. Keep Atlanta chasing.
As we head toward minute 78, 4-1, FC Cincinnati leading ATL UTD2. LaHood being chased by Sandoval. Activity in the middle now. Good dummy. McLaughlin trying to figure out what to do. Sends it in heavy with the right. Hildebrandt waited for it. Nicklaw is in a big joust over there, and it ends up with a whistle, so it'll stick with the stripes.
Russell Cicerone chasing Nicklaw, hands on his shoulders.
Four goals on the board for FC Cincinnati. 16 shots for them on the night. The Nicklaw Rocket from 30, the only goal on the board for the Stripes. They've had 9 shots on goal tonight. Hildebrandt finds Sandoval. Nicklaw trying to advance it down, and he does. Sandoval will chest, keep it in. Gallagher, Kisiadu. Lagos Kunga trying to figure out what to do. Tries to spin a Rooney, sends it over to the captain. Launches in with the right over at the far, looking for Sandoval. Settled down. Gallagher trying to figure out what to do with it. Settles on his own, kicks it back out. Blocked away as Kendall Moulin tried to send it in from the top of the arc, but the Stripes will hang on to it.
Great work by Sandoval to keep that one going. Gallagher unable to create a shot for himself. By the time he's able to find Kisiadu, the box is clogged up and Kisiadu can't find a way through.
Metcalf introduces with the right to the back post, headed away and cleared by LaHood.
Looks like Dylan Gaither is getting ready to come into the match.
Sent all the way over to the captain, who'll drop it back for Laurent Kisiadu. Kisiadu double team, but he finds Barajas. All the way over to Nicklaw. Gallagher, Nicklaw playing catch. Barajas now. Back and forth with Kendall Moulin, looking for some kind of entry point. They can't quite find it the way that FC Cincinnati's defense is structured.
Great work from Gallagher, though, to make himself available, try to combine with players.
Metcalf trying to do something with the right. Top of the arc, launched, and ends up off of the outside of the right foot and out of play. So it'll be a goal kick, and we'll have our final substitution here for ATL UTD 2. Dylan Gaither makes an appearance. And Laurent Kisiadu makes the exit. So Dylan Gaither, your third sub for the night for Scott Donnelly and the Stripes. Dylan Gaither's going to get 10 minutes here tonight.
Gaither's been one of the more promising players out of the Atlanta United Academy. He gets the opportunity tonight. Laurent Kisiadu, some good moments tonight. Also some lessons I think Scott Donnelly will be able to teach him when they sit down and go through the video. The 4-4-2 diamond, maybe one of the first times that Kisiadu has played in that type of situation. Some decent bits going forward for him. Need a little more defensively at times. Good learning lesson tonight for him.
McLaughlin down into the corner. Sends it in with the right. Settled, chested, and nicely defended there as it was almost goal number 5 for FC Cincinnati.
Hustle from Kevin Barajas getting back and clearing that away.
So it'll be a corner at the far for the visitors. Gaither had appeared in one other match this season, had put 82 minutes on those wheels and actually had an assist and a shot in that previous appearance. Corner number 4 for the orange and blue as we're here in minute 82. Let's see what the white and orange kits do here. Sent in with the right, headed clear by Gaither. Getting immediately involved in all of it. LaHood settles it back. And FC Cincinnati will start it all over again. Gaither mixing up. LaHood wanted a handball, and that's what they'll get. They'll get that call, so it'll be a free kick opportunity for FCC here halfway through minute 82.
Like the energy that Gaither's brought to the field, though. When you come onto the situation down 3, you're going to get about 10 minutes. You have to bring something to the table, and Gaither mixing it up quickly.
Everybody camped out just at the edge of the box here at the 18. About 30 or so. This looks like training ground material. Tried to launch it in with the left. Obviously, there was some zigging when there should have been some zagging, and it'll end up being a goal kick for ATL UTD2 and Mitch Hildebrandt.
Yeah, that one might need to go back to the training ground for a little more work. Not on the same page that time. Sandoval heads it down, finds Kunga.
FC Cincinnati trying to spring things offensively. We just gotten word that the goal initially given to Kenny Walker back in the 56th has now been given to Al-Badawi, so he has 2 on the evening.
Hildebrandt makes the tackle on a poor ball, but then has to come out almost chipped. Unable to find the back of the net. Yeah, trying to play out of trouble again. It's dicey.
Welshman with the work there, and activity sends it out, and Ruthven couldn't track it down in time, so it'll be an FCC throw.
Just sloppy in the back. ATL UTD2 happens at this point in the match sometimes, and Mitch Hildebrandt has to come out of the box, make a big tackle, nearly chipped by his former teammates. Andrew Kendall Moulin down, needs a minute to recover, but he's up and he's all right. Players grabbing water. Let's get back to that correction from the score. It was Al-Badawi with the goal. That's his second of the night.
9th on the year for Al-Badawi.
Thought I had that one right. Questioning my eyesight for most of the half now.
You have been proven correct, sir.
Okay, I don't need to go set the appointment for the eye doctor tomorrow. I'll be okay.
That's me. Lahoud settling past Welshman, picked up by the stripes, and they'll try to clear with the right cleat. They do, but it goes out at the far touchline. Throw for FCC.
Nick Law tried to chip that down the line for Gallagher to get on the end of.
Quick look, settle to the center circle, and all the way over to Hoyt. A lot behind it, but he does track it down. McLaughlin wanted it to be sent with a pass. Didn't quite happen, but they'll work the triangle. McLaughlin now has it, and he'll go back to center circle with Lahoud.
Impressed with the veteran Hoyt, 33 years old, Trinidad and Tobago. 18 caps with their national team. Started his youth career with England's youth national teams all the way through the U21 level.
Before he was with FC Cincinnati, he's with League Two's Dagenham and Redbridge. Made his way over here to hang out in the USL. The decision from the far. Nick Law guarding, sent in with the left, sent in way too much. Metcalf settles it down with his cleat, looking to spring. Lagos Kunga, double teamed by McLaughlin, sends it back to Metcalf, and they'll start it up again with Barajas. Barajas trying to send Gallagher, not enough behind it. Lasso gets there for the intercept.
Just that recognition, a little bit too slow there from Barajas.
So back with FC Cincinnati. And another opportunity sent in. Hoyt, and defended by Tyler Ruthven. Not done yet. Welshman puts it in the back of the net for goal 5.
Ruthven with the header in front of the goal, unable to clear, and Welshman, composure in the 18, rips a left-footed shot into the upper 90. No chance for ATL UTD2 to keep that one out. Great work from Ruthven initially to prevent the chance, but nothing Atlanta could do on the follow-up from Welshman.
3rd goal in the season for Welshman to go with his 3 assists. 22nd match for him this season, and we are now 5-1 here in the 87th.
Emery Welshman, another international in this Cincinnati squad. And you know, we've talked about Cincinnati preparing for their inaugural season in MLS next year. You have a number of players here with a lot of pedigree that are going to be pushing for playing time here the rest of the season, but also using it as an audition. Welshman, 26 years old, a big dynamic forward.
Before
he's produced this year.
Yeah, before he was here, he was at Puerto Rico FC.
Originally a super draft pick by Toronto FC. Played with Real Monarchs as well. 3 international goals for Guyana in 5 caps.
Flick for FC Cincinnati, picked up by Ruthven, settled center circle. Kendall Moulin. Lasso bumps Sandoval off of it and grabs possession, sends it back to Ritchie, so it'll stick with FCC. 5-1 here in the 89th minute, and just so you know, you can get an inside look at life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition of From the Pitch. Where do you go? You go to uslsoccer.com.
Barajas plays it into Gaither, out wide to Nicklaw,
who launches again and just missed the near post.
He's looking for a cross that time. He might claim if that goes in, he's claiming a shot, but he was looking for Sandoval in the back post. Nearly found him.
And you stay up to date with all the best from social media around the USL. You watch Off the Post with Kelsey Steele every Friday evening on the USL's social media channels. And one final note for you. As we have all the action going on in the Eastern Conference tonight, the USL surpasses 2 million in total attendance this week, maintaining a record pace in the stands for the league's modern era. The league and its teams would like to thank you, the fans, for the rising support you've provided over the course of the season as we head toward the 2018 USL Cup playoffs. And obviously one of the big favorites is here in the orange and white kit tonight, putting 5 on the board against ATL UTD2. Gallagher looking to put it inside the box, picked off by Lahoud. And back comes FC Cincinnati.
That's been an outstanding 2018 so far for USL, and there's so much more to come between the attendance, what we've seen in Cincinnati, Indy 11 as well with a big attendance jump this year, USL D3 getting launched. Big year for USL, nowhere near done.
2019 season, you've got 7 teams who are coming into the USL, and a lot of markets looking forward to the activity that the USL is going to bring.
We've had coaches introduced here recently in our neck of the woods: Birmingham Legion, Memphis. Lots of regional rivalries upcoming for ATL UTD2 and for Cincinnati.
2 minutes of stoppage time as Gallagher was chasing after Cicerone there. And a yellow goes to Gallagher as we turn the 90th minute. And the 5 goals that we've seen tonight for FC Cincinnati, franchise record for goals in match.
51 goals for the season for FC Cincinnati. And that's tonight without the leading scorer, Emmanuel Ledesma, without the big signing, Fernando Adi. Eastern Conference rivals are looking at FC Cincinnati tonight, shaking in their boots.
With the win tonight, they'll go to 16-3-6 and 54 points. Match day 25 for them here tonight. And they'll get ready for their trip down to Tampa on the weekend. That'll be at 7:30 down at Al Lang. You can catch that across ESPN Plus as well. Headed clear and looking for an opportunity as McLaughlin picked up nicely there by Metcalf. And Cochran sends it past Welshman, trying to spring Lagos Kunga, but Spencer Ritchie will get there first.
Huge tackle by Metcalf, and he has not been able to get back up to his feet after that. Down at the corner of the 6, and we get the whistle now.
Grabbing that left knee is Metcalf.
Looked like McLaughlin might have come down on the knee as Metcalf slid in front of him. And they're waving the trainer on. Mitch Hildebrandt immediately waving the trainer on.
And you look at what Jack Metcalf has done this season.
He's been the Swiss Army knife.
Leads the team Matches played, matches started in every match this season. Number 1 in minutes played. And across the board, he's been one of those guys who has been part of the glue for ATL UTD2 right now. And the look that he has, hands on his face now, hands behind his head as the physio's checking that right knee.
It's a great effort from Metcalf. At this stage of the match, making that tackle, denying McLaughlin a chance. It's leading by example. And with a young team like ATL UTD2, 16 teenagers this season. Average age of the 36 players who have featured, 21.7 years old. It's why you sign a guy like Jack Metcalf and why you put the captain's armband on him.
You know, you compare what ATL UTD2 is doing. They are 5th youngest in average age when it comes to all of these 2 teams that you have. You've got Toronto FC2, who uses a lot of their work for their academy. You have Seattle Sounders 2, Galaxy 2 with Los Dos, Bethlehem Steel at 21.6, and then the Stripes at 21.7. So you see what the teams are doing here in the USL with their approaches, and it's just been getting everybody ready, and that'll do it. J.J. Belinsky uses the whistle, and he calls it. Dominating effort tonight by the team at the top of the Eastern Conference standings. 5 on the board for FC Cincinnati in a dominating performance here at the Proving Ground against ATL UTD2.
FC Cincinnati showed why they're the class of the Eastern Conference and why they are your #1 favorite to win the East and represent in USL Cup. Dominating performance from a less than full strength FC Cincinnati, to be fair.
As they get ready for their trip to Tampa Bay this weekend. They just finished up a long homestand, and so now they're going to have time on the road to try to stay at the top of the East and distance themselves from Pittsburgh and from the Charleston Battery. When we come back to the Proving Ground, we will wrap it up, put a bow on the show, give you highlights, give you stats, let you know what's next for these 2 sides. You are watching the USL on ESPN Plus. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this.
Are never enough hours in the day, so you can't let sniffles, strep, or aches and pains slow you down. But finding great healthcare that fits your schedule can be tricky. With Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, you can get great same-day care right around the corner. There are 27 locations and counting, all with extended hours and most open 7 days a week. You can book an appointment online to get in, out, and on your way. Visit piedmont.org/quickcare now to learn more. Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, one stop to better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm. Comprometidos con usted y su familia.
I knew your name before you did. I knew your fears, your hopes. I knew what you could accomplish, how great you could be. And I knew just where to take you when you got hurt.
You'll be back out there in no time.
For physical therapists and certified athletic trainers who only work with young athletes, there's Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine. Moms know.
Welcome back to Coolray Field. We're going to put a bow on this particular effort here in the USL. Dominating performance by FC Cincinnati as they are heading over to the fans who actually made the trip here to Coolray Field in the Proving Ground. 5-1 effort for FC Cincinnati tonight as they leave here, head down to Tampa this weekend. Jason, let's go through the highlights tonight. And a lot of them have to do with the guys in orange, white, and blue.
Yeah, it was a dominating performance from Alan Koch's crew from FC Cincinnati. It started with Corbin Bone opening the scoring, followed up by Nazmi Al-Badawi, our man of the match. 2 goals tonight. Big performance from him. Fatai Alashe, second start for FC Cincinnati. He gets on the board. Big first half for Cincinnati, and that was the key. They were able to take control of the match early. Here's the goal from Al-Badawi, his first of the night. Really setting the table for Cincinnati to dominate.
A lot of activity in the box. Al-Badawi, you thought he was going to do something with the left, and he switches it over to the right, sends it into the near corner opposite for Mitch Hildebrand, which put 2 on the board. Once again, that was the same scenario that they had when they played at Nippert back in May. That was what it was at the break. Then in the 52nd, it was another one.
Yeah, second half, ATL UTD2 hoped for a quick start. They're unable to get it. Fatai Alashe opens the scoring in the second half, makes it 3-0 for Cincinnati.
Then, as we get one more look of the Fatai Alashe goal, they came in bunches and they came quickly. You go from minute 52 to minute 56, and initially it was credited one way, but it goes to Al-Badawi for his second of the night.
Yeah, Al-Badawi with the second of the night again, our man of the match. Al-Badawi just at the top of the 6, finds a little pocket of space, unmarked, able to touch it home. The home squad does get on the board, and it's a highlight reel goal, and it's his first goal of the season. Sean Nickloff, he had a highlight reel chance earlier this season off the crossbar, off the goalkeeper, and in this one, he doesn't need any help. He finds the back of the net on his own, and it has to be up for goal of the week. Great blast from Sean Nickloff from distance with the right foot.
Absolute crusher from, what do you want to say, 30, close, somewhere between 30 and 35?
30 plus.
So we'll give him 30 plus, and if this is not a goal of the week winner, not just goal of the week candidate, if it's not the goal of the week winner, and I know I'm kind of staking my claim early on, definitely in consideration already, but being who we are, I think it's goal of the week already, and I'm just going to go ahead and stake that claim. So ATL UTD2 gets a goal on the board, but then Cincinnati comes back one final time and puts it in to the back of it to give them 5 for the night.
The finale, it's Emery Welshman finishing off the night with the 5th goal for Cincinnati. Tyler Ruthven in his debut for ATL UTD2 makes a clearance at the top of the 6, unable to get it out of the area, out of the danger zone, and Welshman with the left-footed rip beats Hildebrand.
That's your final. 5-1, 5 goals on the board. And when we look at the final numbers, was there anything that stuck out to you when it came to this particular match? You look at possession, obviously it's going to lean toward ATL UTD2, but it's because they were trying to figure out what to do against a very, very stout FC Cincinnati defense.
Yeah, so much of it's the game state. You know, we talked about it really early on where Cincinnati had the possession advantage. That tilted to Atlanta. As the match went on, it was a struggle for ATL UTD2 to really make much of it. You saw the heads go down a little bit from a few players. That's the challenge in these types of matches against a powerhouse team like Cincinnati, to keep your head up as you're struggling to create chances. Felt like wave after wave in an onslaught in orange and blue.
16th win of the season for FC Cincinnati. They are now 16-3-6 at 54 points. At the top of the ladder in the Eastern Conference, Pittsburgh and Charleston are chasing them and will continue to do so with this little stretch that FC Cincinnati has on the road. For them, they leave here and they head to Al Lang for their next matchup against a team that can give you problems in their home building. Once again, another test, but we also saw folks tonight for FC Cincinnati as they get ready for Tampa, who didn't play tonight, including Fernando Adi, who'll be ready for that match on the weekend.
Yeah, and you'll get Ledesma back as well. That's a huge addition to a team that scored 5 goals tonight. You get the leading scorer for your squad fresh for Tampa.
And on the flip side for ATL UTD2, they don't have to wait either. 7 o'clock here at the Proving Ground. They get Indy 11. Indy 11 was going hammer and tong with Toronto FC2 tonight. They were up 3-2 in the 70th, and that game itself is getting toward a close.
It was a final Indy 11 with the 3-2 win, so they come in on a high to Coolray Field on Saturday.
Final thoughts as we head away from the conference leaders and head toward Indy 11.
ATL UTD2 has to regroup quickly. They're not going to get a lot of help from Atlanta United, who's in action Friday night. Scott Donnelly has a small group right now, and he's going to have some video to work with here. There were a few moments that he can point to, but there's also some teachable moments in this loss tonight.
And we will get those teachable moments, and we will see how they are applied here at the Proving Ground on the weekend. For Jason Longshore, I'm John Nelson. Thanks for watching USL Soccer here on ESPN+. big win for FC Cincinnati as they are on a little bit of a mini road trip and staying at the top of the East. Once again, 7:30 for them this weekend as they head to Tampa. 3 of their next 4, including tonight on the road. ATL UTD2 has a little road trip of their own after this. Last 7 for them are at home. So for Jason, I am John. Play it safe, everybody. We will see you Saturday here from the Proving Ground. 5-1 win for FC Cincinnati over ATL UTD2.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.